Thank you very much, Judy. Well, a very good afternoon to you. A massive day in the world of sport beyond South African borders, where our focus has been on the ANC elective and national conference around the world for all sports fans. They're looking forward to a match that will be kicking off at 5 p.m. South African time. It's the 2022 FIFA World Cup Final. It'll be contested between the defending champions France and Argentina. It's the biggest football match on the planet, and it often separates the good players from the legends. We've had our team in Qatar for the entire tournament, and they look at this all-important clash at the Leshoro Stadium.
So the day is finally here. It's World Cup final day. It is France, the defending champions, versus Argentina at the Leshoro Stadium, and we're here to witness history unfold as Lionel Messi plays his final ever match at a World Cup, whether it'll end with him winning the grandest prize of all will be seen in the hours to come. But let's start our build-up by taking a look at how things have unfolded throughout the month of football here in Qatar. And I'm joined by Khotso Sello, who's been with me throughout the month. Khotso, thank you for your time this afternoon. Firstly, let's start with the supporters that are coming through here today. We're in the stadium precinct, by the way, here at the Leshoro Stadium. And the bulk of the supporters, if you look behind you, are Argentine fans. I don't see any French supporters. What's going on?
I think the biggest thing when we arrived in Qatar was always the battle between Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, and we've seen that Messi has come up trumps because he's in the final, and a lot of supporters who've made their way all the way from different parts of the world are huge Lionel Messi fans, and I think it's also that whole number 10 stigma around Argentina, Maradona having blessed it before, and Lionel Messi perhaps being able to get that elusive chance of him winning a maiden World Cup title, the last feather in a very glittering career that he's had. And I think, it would be, fitting, but who says it's not fitting for France to be able to defend their championship?
We'll talk about Messi in just a moment, but let me get your views on the tournament itself here in Qatar. It's match number 64 today of 64. Yeah. What have you made of Qatar 2022?
Look, it's been a very sober tournament in all senses of the word, and I think it's been very, an open World Cup. Every single match has been, hammering tongs, teams really going out there and, having a go at each other. We even saw Morocco and Croatia yesterday. Nobody was holding back throughout that entire 90 minutes. And it was lovely to see even all the group stages. When you watch all the games in the group stages, it was, all out attack. And I think it's been a very long time when one hasn't witnessed that much attacking football, because football went through this period of, defensive type of football being the type of football on display. But I think this World Cup has shown that this is the type of football that brings bums on seats. When we have goals galore, one can remember the 3-3 between Serbia and Cameroon, and the comeback match for Ghana. So there's been all these little pockets of entertainment that have really, really garnered the support of the locals and the traveling fans alike.
And I think also one thing we can remember Qatar 2022 for is the surprises. Nobody ever thought Saudi Arabia would beat Argentina. Nobody ever thought Japan would beat Germany and Spain. These are recent world champions. Nobody ever thought Morocco would make their way to the semi-finals and come to within touching distance of the final match here in Leshoro. Whether it happened or it didn't, that's immaterial. But let's look then at this final. Mbappe has a World Cup medal. Messi hasn't. And the romance dictates, it demands a Messi World Cup, doesn't it? The script demands a Messi World Cup at the end of a glittering career. One of the best, definitely, that we've seen ever.
it will be one for the history books, isn't it? But unfortunately, football is not played in books, and I think France also deserve a fair shot at defending their world championship. I mean, if one can remember that, some of their top players are not even here. The likes of Paul Pogba, the likes of N'Gale Kante, the likes of Ballon d'Or winner Karim Benzema, who's not here, and to see these youngsters that are coming through and made sure that France are where they are. Olivier Giroud would have been sitting on the bench if Karim Benzema was here, and he went on and eclipsed the all-time scoring record for France. And when you look at the Argentinian team, it's a story for the history books. It's a story for the fairy tales, and I think it's two sides that are well poised in terms of writing history, depending on which side of history you want to look at it.
All right, Khotso, we will witness history one way or another here at the Lusail Stadium this evening. Just a few hours to kick off Argentina versus France. The fans are excited, I can tell you, and it is building up to that kickoff at 6 p.m. local time. It will be 5 p.m. in South Africa, but at the end of the night, one must fall, and we will have one world champion. For Newzroom Afrika on channel 405, I'm Benjamin Leshoro in Qatar.